Why did the love story of Chip and Joanna Gaines almost end before it began? What legal crisis made Joanna hide spare money from her husband? And which of her comments about motherhood left fans shocked? Hi, I'm Janet, and you're watching OSSA. Let's get started. Late to love. I knew I'd marry her one day, just by the picture on the wall, Chip told Pop Sugar, speaking of the first time he saw his future wife. Yes, he saw Joanna's picture in her father's auto store and was determined as heck. And that's the quality that mirrors his now father-in-law. Joanna's American father, who has Lebanese and German ancestry, fell in love with her Korean mother when he was stationed in Korea in 1969. All the odds were against them, but they fought through and became an example of how to love, fight for, and extend grace to and honor each other amidst all their many differences, said Joanna in an Instagram post celebrating their 45th anniversary. Her own love story may not have been quite so epic, but it's still a beautiful and funny example of overcoming differences. As we know, Chip fell for Joanna before he ever met her. Not only did he see Joanna's photo, he also saw her in commercials for the store. Determined to meet Joanna in real life, he kept returning for brake repairs, hoping to run into her. My buddies used to always joke that no one could get their brakes done as often as I got my brakes done, he once said, laughing. Sure enough, Chip met his dream girl and secured a date. Considering how much he liked Joanna, you'd think Chip would do everything possible to impress her. But you'd be wrong. According to Joanna, Chip showed up to their first date an hour and a half late. Even though he swears he wasn't as late as that, Joanna's friends who had popped in to check out the new man in her life all bore witness. However, Chip's undeniable charisma got him out of the dog box.
They open the door, and of course, as Chip can only do, he walks in and is like, "Hello, ladies!" An hour and a half late.
And then he was instantly forgiven.
Instantly forgiven.
While they had a great date, Chip literally took months to ask her out again. The real reason for this? A bet he had with his roommate, John, about who could hold out the longest before calling their date back. I really wanted that $50 from John, Chip wrote in his and Joanna's book, The Magnolia Story. That's the only reason I didn't call. Yet despite all the initial delays, their fates finally aligned, and one of the world's most popular couples was born. But that wasn't the end of their early challenges. When Chip said "I love you," Joanna's response wasn't quite what he was hoping for. All she said in return was an awkward "thank you." It didn't take her too long to reciprocate his feelings, though. At first, I couldn't believe how kind Chip was. He had kind eyes, and he made me laugh a lot, she once said. I knew he was the one because I knew I could trust him. Fun fact, Chip and Joanna both attended Baylor University in Waco, Texas, but their paths never crossed as they graduated 3 years apart. Chip got a marketing degree, while Joanna studied communications and planned to become a broadcast journalist. But fate had other ideas. A lot to fix up. Although some couples couldn't think of anything worse than living and working together, for Chip and Joanna, it was a magic formula. A serial entrepreneur, Chip had begun flipping houses and renting them out to university students before he married Joanna. When they wed in 2003, Joanna joined him in these projects and discovered a hidden passion for home decor. Nevertheless, the couple made huge mistakes in their early days, especially with a cottage they renovated for themselves. We painted over wallpaper, left the popcorn ceiling intact, and spent most of our bathroom renovation budget on double shower heads, the couple told Realtor.com. Funnily enough, Joanna said that most of what she learned creatively was from this, their very own first fixer-upper. Chip later took out a loan so Joanna could open a small boutique to sell her vintage finds, which was the starting point of Magnolia Markets. But the couple's working life wasn't always smooth sailing. Early on, we had our fair share of fights and figuring out where our boundaries were, Joanna admitted. While she was detail-oriented, Chip focused on the big picture and embraced risks, which made her nervous.
I was a safe, kind of overprotected child, and Chip was this rowdy, kind of risky guy. And so if you can imagine those two worlds colliding, it was very interesting.
While they're very different, the way in which their personalities complement one another is what makes their marriage so strong. But Chip has always pushed me to be the best me, Joanna told People. He empowers me to be confident. Although they found a working rhythm, it took Chip and Joanna a while to earn a good living. At one stage, all they had was literally the cash in Chip's pocket. In fact, Joanna's parents were initially not too keen on the marriage, as they were worried about their daughter's financial future. Little did they know, but before the fame and fortune, money was definitely a concern. The Gaineses realized they were on the verge of a financial crisis when Joanna landed up alone with a newborn baby and a husband in jail. Wait, what? Shortly after their first child, Drake, was born, Chip was thrown into county jail over $2,500 in unpaid fines due to a neighbor's complaint over their roaming dogs. Joanna needed to take all the cash from the till in her store to bail him out. She knew things had to change. I think for me, the best lesson is always having a nest egg on the side, she told Business Insider. Chip's not so keen on the idea though, saying his parents taught him the opposite. They taught me to take that nest egg and throw that thing out the window and go for it, he said. You only live once. There will be plenty of time to sleep when you're dead. That's why Joanna joked she never tells him about their nest egg. Surprisingly, when they were offered the chance to do Fixer Upper in 2012, it was Chip who was skeptical. Producers had discovered Joanna's design blog about her and Chip's home flipping projects and thought they'd be the perfect couple to host a home renovation show. He told her not to return the call when the producer left a message on her mobile phone.
He said, do not call that person back. It's a scam. How much did they say you have to pay for them to film you? And I was like, I don't think they
This is sad.
think it's a scam.
Seems Joanna was the one who went for it in that instance. Not a bad decision, considering the fact that today the couple are worth an estimated $20 million. We're guessing that their current nest egg is quite a large one. The price of fame. Nevertheless, when you go from anonymity to fame, you'd better be prepared to handle the fallout. Chip and Joanna soon learned the downside of being in the spotlight. One of the biggest hurdles they faced was when Chip's two former business partners decided to sue him for fraud. Apparently, Chip bought them out of Magnolia Realty, the company they founded together, just 2 days before their show deal with HGTV was announced. He paid them each $2,500 for their shares. While the timing is a little suspect, it does seem like the two were trying to cash in on Chip and Joanna's success, especially considering how long it took for them to file the suit. Chip summed up his feelings in a tweet saying, FYI, I've had the same cell number 15 years, same email for 21 years. No one called or emailed. 4 years later, friends reach out via lawsuit. It seems the judge agreed. He threw out the lawsuit in early 2020. Another scandal the Gaineses encountered was when it came out that a pastor at their church was against same-sex marriage and even advocated for conversion therapy. The couple's followers believed that they were anti-LGBTQ+, as well as bombarded them with unflattering comments. While the couple never officially responded to the resulting controversy, Chip wrote a post on their at-home blog in January 2017. Disagreement is not the same thing as hate. Don't believe that lie, he said. We operate from a position of love in all things, but we are not about to get into the nasty business of throwing stones at each other. Naturally, the couple's marriage has also been the subject of numerous tabloid articles since they first became famous, but it appears they're rock solid. In response to 2017 divorce rumors, Chip tweeted, "Won't ever happen. You can take that to the bank. Hashtag love of my life." Like any other couple, the two have ups and downs, but they always come from a place of love. And Joanna knows how to keep the sometimes excitable Chip in line. When either of us are off our tracks or kind of lost our minds in one way or the other, you know, a little look, a little side eye certainly goes a long way for sure, Chip once said, and she's got a nasty one. It's scary. Seems a little fear goes a long way. The joy of labor? We're guessing Joanna's scary looks also helps to control the rest of their family, especially considering it's such a big one. When the couple first debuted Fixer Upper, they already had 4 children. Most would think that's quite a brood, but not Chip and Joanna. During the last season of the show in 2018, they announced they were expecting for the 5th time. They weren't kidding when they said they were stopping Fixer Upper to focus on their family.
Well, as soon as we decided to stop Fixer Upper, we had a 5th baby. So we've kind of figured out the Rubik's Cube here. It's like time on our hands equal additional children.
While most of their fans were thrilled, others criticized their decision to keep having children. Some said they were contributing to the overpopulation of the planet, while others suggested they were trying to fix their marriage. Despite public opinion, the couple, who still appear very happy, were thrilled to welcome little Cruz in mid-2018. After he was born, Joanna revealed something that would shock most mothers. "I love the labor part," she told People magazine. This is the moment that we get to meet this little baby. It's so much fun. I want to do it again. Alrighty then. Considering the fact that she's chosen to go through labor 5 times, maybe we shouldn't be all that surprised by her revelation? Could baby number 6 be on the cards? While some say yes, it's hard to see how the two would find the time. Their new show recently started streaming on Discovery Plus through the Magnolia Network, a massive joint multimedia venture between Discovery and the Gaineses. If anything, the couple reportedly remains super excited by their new network, even though its full rollout has been delayed to 2022 because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Perhaps the strangest thing about a couple who have built their fortune through television is that they don't actually own a TV. Although considering they live on a farm, it may not be that hard to understand. Chip in fact thinks that their lack of TV exposure is an advantage. The secret to good television is finding people who don't want to be on television, he told Fast Company. And based on their success, he may just be right. Want to hear more stories about couples who work together? Click here to watch our awesome video about music powerhouses Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton. See you next time!